It's been a unique style. A number of different artists, such as Dave Koz and even saxophone players and pianists, have all fashioned a lot of their performances off of the music that the Kool and the Gang brand has brought into existence in our lifestyles. And if you're just tuning in, you're watching the Image Profile Report, and we're talking with Robert Kool Bell. When you all began to travel, because now you become international stars, you've now gotten a hit, and it's something that a number of people from other cultures are beginning to enjoy. It now gives you another opportunity to create new styles and new music. Some of the music that you had created during that time has its history based upon your travel. Could you share with us maybe one of the hit songs and how it really became existent?
Well, traveling, reggae dancing, for instance, being out in the Caribbean and Trinidad and Barbados, Antigua, in the early days that we were influenced by hearing that music, Open Sesame, traveling in the Eastern countries, where like Turkey or some parts of Africa where you had that particular sound happening, the Arabian style horn lines that you hear in the song Open Sesame. Mm-hmm. So to answer your question, yes, we have been influenced when we travel to other cities around the world.
Your brother, in terms of Summer Madness, now created another brand in terms of the concepts of using the synthesizers. And it was one of the first sounds that we heard throughout the world. How did it affect the new change in the way in which Kool and the Gang was beginning to perform?
Well, Summer Madness was a part of another song called You Don't Have to Change. Mm-hmm. And Spike Mickens wrote the song You Don't Have to Change. And the ARC synthesizer, the 2600, just came out. And I think Stevie Wonder had one, and my brother had one, and he was experimenting with it. So he's in the studio late that night, and the end of You Don't Have to Change, there's a vamp there, which became the Summer Madness vamp. What he did was just a solo over that vamp, and it became Summer Madness. Like, we didn't know that it was going to be the type of song that it's become over the years, but that's how Summer Madness was created.
Celebration, Ladies' Night, some of the most inspiring sounds that even continue to transcend the arts and culture and the genre today is emulated behind those kinds of activities in terms of your traveling and coming up with inspiration?
I would say so in terms of things that happened at that time. Ladies' Night became a big record after a slow period of Kool and the Gang coming out at the end of the 70s, the latter part of the 70s going into the 80s. And that's when we decided to get a lead singer, and we came up with the song Ladies' Night. Now, Ladies' Night was what was happening in the clubs. I used to go out on Friday nights and weekend, and they would have a Ladies' Night. So I came up with the idea of writing this song along with George Brown, who had already created the music and everything. So when we came up with a song called Ladies' Night, because we were reintroducing ourselves with a lead singer, and we still wanted to keep the identity of Kool and the Gang in terms of the horn sound. So Yamir Diadalo, who became a producer, made sure that we captured that. Mm-hmm. To get back to the question, we would celebrate the fact that we had just won 2 American Music Awards at the American Music Awards in LA. And when we got back, my brother came up with another idea. He said, I got this song called Celebration. It was about, celebrating. And so we all worked together on the song, and that's how Celebration was created, from the Ladies' Night, from a slow period of my career, picking back up, and here comes Celebration.
Kool and the Gang has sold over 70 million records, and you're probably near 100 at this point. And looking at it from the reality of the development of which direction you're going in now, the focus of your travels are still overseas, but you have been able to command a number of performances, especially around the holiday time. You have a Christmas album that's put together for that purpose. Why don't you share with us about that?
Well, it was our very first one. We did several months ago. And people would always ask us, so when are you guys going to do a Christmas record? The thing was, we didn't know we were going to have time to do a Christmas record. So we were out on tour with Kid Rock. And in between, dates, the guys would fly back and forth from the West Coast and the East Coast. And we finally was able to do it. It's our very first Christmas record, Kool for the holidays.
That's wonderful.
So it should be out every Christmas. Matter of fact, we're getting close to Christmas time again, aren't we?
Absolutely.
A couple more months.
It'd be really nice for us to be able to share with that music in terms of letting people hear the true quality of how you've been able to put that extra, value, Kool and the Gang sound to it. Looking at it from this perspective and understanding now that your band itself has transitioned, there's only really 3 members that were the founding members of the band. The relationship of it, as it is, you still are really talented and you're still vibrant and you started so young. You're not that old. How well do you think the music that you offer is going to continue to have the lifestyle that it has in the lifestyles of those not only who are in our generation, but the younger generation as well?
Well, it's a blessing to be able to be in the business for 50 years and have the fan support, supporting Kool and Gang for so many years and having the type of songs that have grown over the years. Because Celebration was 30 years ago, Ladies Night, and then Summer Madness, how they were swinging funky stuff, that was almost 40-some years ago. And these songs are still popular today. And we still have 4 original members.
Oh, okay.
It's my brother and myself, and Dennis Thomas and George Brown.
I see.
4 out of 8. 4 passed. We had 8 when we started. But again, it's a blessing to see the crowds around the world that know the music and still loves the music. We ask all the time, said, how are you guys still around when other bands are falling by the wayside? I can't answer that question. That comes from the Creator. We just thank God that we're still here and that we have a fan base all over the world.
A lot of times we listen to music, John Coltrane, to say the least, really is someone who we study about how he improvised on spirituality. Does that have a major relationship in terms of how the energy continues to be everlasting in your group?
I would say so. John Coltrane was, my brother was definitely a fan of John Coltrane and Coltrane's style of music when he traveled to Africa and different types of music and energy that was in John Coltrane music, as well as Pharoah Sanders and Leon Thomas and McCoy and all those guys. They had a certain vibe, a certain energy that was happening. And we was around as young guys. Back in Jersey City, a place called, we called it every Sunday. It was in a church called St. John's. And every now and then, Pharoah Sanders or or Leon Thomas and various other artists would come through there. And so we were soaking up all that energy. Mm-hmm. Again, not knowing that this is all before Kool and the Gang and everything else happened, that we were destined, I should say, mm-hmm. to become where we have arrived today at a young age.
Especially 50 years in the industry is a major milestone, and incredibly enough, you're celebrating it this year. And as we have learned, next year you're going to be getting a Walk of Fame star. How do you feel about that?
Well, again, that's another blessing because it's been a while for Kool and the Gang to finally, to be recognized for the Walk of Fame. And that's the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We wrote a song about it called Hollywood Swinging. So, I mean, that's just kind of appropriate for us at this point, you know. But it's a great feeling. We're still waiting for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay,
But,
that's gonna be a real blessing as well.
Yeah, that's a great feeling, yeah.
So, understanding exactly that the relationship of music is something that you really want to continue to influence. You're also involved with some philanthropic investments. Why don't you talk to us about the Kool Kids Foundation?
Well, the Kool Kids Foundation came up, was my wife's idea.
Okay.
My wife's Gina, and she's been pulled behind me for this about 50 years anyway. That's
right.
Talking about my lover and my partner, and and rock and roll is not too many marriages last for
That's right.
50 years.
Yeah.
I said that's a blessing within itself,
Yeah.
to have the support, especially with our lifestyle. Always on the road, back and forth, it breaks up a lot of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So she has been there and have supported me. And the Kool Kids Foundation is what she came up with. For kids in the schools where they don't have music anymore, like when we was coming up, you can go and take an instrument out. I remember I took the mellophone out. That was the big tuba-looking instrument.
Mm-hmm.
I blew up about 5 times and no, that's not me. Then I got a violin and my hands, this wasn't working, But at least you had the opportunity to do these things in high school and in grammar school. That's not there anymore. So my wife saw a need for that, to try to bring music back into the schools and help these kids, not only in the music side, that they get your education, that, look at the importance of the true. So that's what the whole foundation is about, and I support her 100% on that.
And I'm telling you, she embraced me to be a part of it. I'm very proud to be a part of it. And I thank you for enjoying the idea of knowing that I've been very helpful in working with her to make it work in terms of it being a benefit for people in our community. You have done a number of different things with the Boys Club and other areas in our community. I'm sure that this particular area is going to take flight and become something that's going to have the same brand as the Kool in the Game model. We want to thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. We want to continue to share with you some of the wonderful inspirations that Robert Kool Bell and Sakina Bell is going to be doing in our community as they move forward in the future. We look forward to more opportunities that we can have where we're going to talk to jazz greats and be able to introduce the legends to you. Because Kool is a legend. He has had a lifestyle that has been very inspiring, especially to men and women of all ages. But thank you very much for being here.
Well, thank you, and I'd like to thank all my fans and the people who have been a part of my life, my career, for the support, because that's very important, because this is a business of hills and valleys, so when you're down there looking in that valley, looking back up again, you need that support. So, without our fans, I wouldn't be here. Hooligan wouldn't be here. So we thank them for supporting us for so many years.
Well, we thank you because the genius of the music that you all produce will never die. And we will always be there for you. Thank you so much.
All right.